Alright, we are on the play with some Rug Delver. This hand looks pretty good. I'm going to keep it. I'm not ecstatic about it, mostly because our turn 2 Goyf will not be able to survive Lightning Bolt, but I guess that's not as relevant as it used to be. We're going to lead off on probably a Wooded Foothills. I would not be surprised if I want to grab a Steam Vents to cast Lightning Bolt or Spell Snare. We're playing against Bogles. That's bad for us. Well, yeah, it's going to resolve. I'm going to get my Steam Vents tapped. We are in all kinds of trouble. I don't think this is the kind of matchup anyone actually plans for, given that Bogles really isn't that common. What can we even do against Bogles besides running a bunch of Disrupting Shoal? I don't think Temur gets any sacrifice effects. Make our dudes bigger than their dudes, blow up enchantments. That's all I got. Sure. Could be worse. Knock on wood. They could have had something absolutely massive on turn 2, so we're not in the worst position we could be. We're certainly not in a good one. End step is fine. Bobble. Okay. Okay. So, we're going to have some Goyf action here. Let's grab ourselves a basic island. Use a Visions. I don't think I want either of these cards at this point. Yeah, probably not. Bottom both of those. Let's bobble the opponent. They're going to draw a Rancor, which will give +2/+0 and trample to whichever creature they prefer. I believe we're just going to get in for 3 and play Goyf number 2. I think that's our best bet. We are definitely racing. That's for sure. We pick up a Visions off of Bobble. Might be okay. Horizon Canopy. Yup, there's the Rancor. 4/2, first strike, and trample. Please don't give it lifelink. There's the lifelink and vigilance. It's a 7/5. It's too big. We're gonna die. Daybreak Coronet. We could have held up Snare for that. Is that something we should be doing? Holding up Spell Snare for Daybreak Coronets? I wonder. Definitely not a matchup I have a bunch of experience with. Their graveyard's too small for us to be able to profitably play Mandrills. I think I want to use this Visions. Bottom... No, we're basically just really dead. I don't think any of our decisions matter at this point. We swing with both. They gain more life. They take 3. Yeah, we're just extremely dead. I wonder if I should have held up Spell Snare instead of playing Goyf number 2. Just so that we could have a good out to Daybreak Coronet. Because Daybreak Coronet is basically one of their best cards. Core Spirit Dancer is fine. It's one of the things we can actually answer with Bolt. I'm not expecting that to be very relevant. Ethereal Armor, we won't be able to counter. It's going to be +1/+1 and more first strike. That's fine. Ethereal Armor, Ethereal, sorry, not Ethereal. I think it's Ethereal. Ethereal Armor is probably their best card. Makes things really big. That is an 11/9. So if we can choose to survive and look at more cards in their deck, basically. I guess we may as well. We'll soak up some damage. We're definitely not winning. Let's double block. We go to 6. I don't think I want to show them any more cards, so I'm just going to pass to them and hope they play a spell, basically. Yep. Alright, that's going to do it. Now, if we did have the counter for Daybreak Coronet, we actually might have been okay because we would have taken out Vigilance and Lifelink. Then again, Ethereal Armor the turn after probably would have been enough, but who knows. Let's see what we can do. Destructive Revelry is one of the cards I like against them. Mountain as well, because I don't want to spend time spinning my wheels to hit land drops. I just want to hit my land drops. Melody looks awful. Flash Freeze actually does counter all of their green stuff, but it doesn't counter the white spells. I wonder about that one. Rejection seems awful. Reveler's bad. Blood Moon is something I want. We might be able to steal a win that way. I'm not sure if I want all 3 Blood Moon. I almost certainly want 2. Bogles tends to not interact, so maybe the third one is just going to be redundant and I don't want it. On the other hand, maybe I need as high a chance of finding Blood Moon as possible, and I should be running all 3. So we're boarding in at least 6 cards. Knuckleblade could be okay. Dismember's awful. Vapor Snag's awful. I do want Disrupting Shoal. I might cut a Spell Snare. It's not going to be very good. We probably cut a Forked Bolt and at least 1 Lightning Bolt. They're good at going face, and they're good at taking out core Spirit Dancers. That's the extent of their abilities. Traverse seems very bad. Gets better with Blood Moon, but it still seems pretty bad. Do I want to cut 1 Spell Snare to maybe keep a Traverse in? That's about as far as I think I want to go for sideboarding. I want these 6. I think we're going to go with not having the Blood Moon. Traverse gets better when you do have Blood Moon because it's going to help us find the basics we need to operate and lock them out of the game. So I kind of want to run a Traverse. You know what? Tarfire? No, Tarfire is tribal for Goyf. I was going to say, if we don't care about Delirium on Traverse, we should be boarding out Tarfire instead of this Bolt, since the Bolt will technically be strictly better by 1 point of damage, but Tribal is relevant for Goyf. Do we want Traverse or Spell Snare? How many 1 CMC blue spells do we have here? 19 minus 4, that's 15. A 16th if we keep Snare. Let's just do that. We're going to try it. Who knows how well this is going to go. We're going to be on the play again. We have the ability to cast spells. We don't have the ability to cast many of them. I think this is a mulligan. I do like that we have Delver on 1, so we can race, and we could always scour something with Delver Scry. Pyroclasm is also decent. Gets a lot worse when we're going turn 1 Delver. I'm going to mulligan into something safer. This is certainly safer. The opponent kept 7. We're going to keep our 6. Second Mandrills looks awful. Let's play a land and a bauble. I think we bauble ourselves for the Scry. It's a Goyf. That's probably okay, given that Mandrills is going to be a little slow. Gladecover Scout, sure. Now comes the fun part. Do we Pyroclasm or not? Let's grab a Stomping Ground, then we'll get an island off of the Misty. Foothills, so we're going to get an island with the Misty, a forest with the Foothills. If we Pyroclasm here, we basically blow our only removal, and if they have another creature, we're in a bad spot. If we don't Pyroclasm and they get this above 2 toughness, we're in an extremely bad spot as well. I think I'm just going to go for the Pyroclasm. We could always draw another one, hopefully. That was the Misty. Let's get an island. Get rid of this. Bogles doesn't run that many creatures, so I don't really mind trying to just hope they don't have more creatures. Looks like a Bogle, yep. Slippery Bogle hits the battlefield. Here's a Horizon Canopy. I think it's more likely that they have a bunch of enchantments than they have creatures. Anyways, I'm going to play a Ferocious Goyf, which isn't bad. Let's get a forest so that we have good Blood Moon mana. Top decking Blood Moon is definitely relevant here. And we'll be able to counter one enchantment. Hopefully we get there. I really don't think I'm expecting to. Gryff's Boon. Return Gryff's Boon from the graveyard to the battlefield attached to target creature. I think that's fine. The extra +1/+0 isn't that worrisome. The extra flying is redundant. I think I'd rather denial something more important. Let's pop out the graveyards. Spirit Mantle is going to give protection from creatures, which could be really bad if they get Vigilance on it, because that means it's basically going to be immune to combat, and it'll be hitting us for 4 while basically just totally invalidating our clock. So I might actually denial that one. They're going to get in for 3. Well, we have a 6/7 now, so that's relevant. Spell Snare isn't bad. It's not the best. I'm going to hit for 6, and we're going to see what we can afford to delve, because I kind of want to get this Mandrills down. They have Enchantment, Land, Creature. So we can delve all 3 lands pretty happily. And that's actually it, because Sorcery, Artifact, and Instant. I think I'm actually going to delve away the Denial to hold up the Spell Snare. So we're going to be delving slightly more than we necessarily need to, but I think I want to hold up Spell Snare. If we do get a chance to use the Spell Snare, Goyf's going to be a 6/7 again. Path, yeah. Okay. That's fine. We will use the ability. I think we just get another island. Double red is relevant if we top deck Knuckleblade. Double blue is relevant with Snapcaster Mage. Less so now because we got rid of the denial. I think I'm going to get double red. 2 CMC spell? 2 CMC spell! No. Maybe? Is it? I don't know. Nope. Oh, that's awful for us. Well, we're getting the island now. Okay, we're going to take 3. Our opponent apparently had a very interactive hand. 2 pieces of removal, very interactive. That's funny. At least we can slam this Mandrills. We also have what is essentially a Dark Ritual in hand, which is nice. Let's play Mandrills. Like that. Do I want to hold up Lightning Bolt and delve 4? We're going to get rid of Scour, Misty, Mandrills. No, I think I'd rather tap this as well. Get rid of Scour, Misty, Mandrills. Just in case we top deck Goyf. We want Goyf to be good. They are cracking their canopy to draw. Hyena Umbra is pretty bad for us. Not the worst, though. Dryad Arbor for turn. Might end up having to bolt that. That is first strike, so I have no interest in blocking. Yep. Okay. Delver, that's actually not bad. We're going to get in there for 4 with Mandrills. That's perfectly okay with me because of Trample. Otherwise, I probably would have bolted it, but as is, we may as well save the bolt for the face. We end up netting extra damage that way, bolting the face instead of the Arbor. Do they just not have anything? Because that would be fantastic. We can't block, so we're going to take 4. Go down to 3, but we're the bolt deck. They are not. What do you have, opponent? End step? Okay, could be an upkeep path. Maybe they're just testing the waters to see what Delver does. I don't know. That's a Visions. I'm going to reveal it. Okay, we're going to combat. Probably should have Visions first, but we're going to combat. Do they have the path? They have the path. On Delver. Oh, that actually makes quite a bit of sense. That's fine. We should have Visions first. That's a misplay. If I Visions here and find a stubborn denial, I'm going to be pretty upset with myself. There's nothing to do with that. They take 4. Visions. It's a bobble. 2 denials on top. Nothing to do about that. However, Bobble just might find us a lightning bolt. Do we look at our card? We may as well. What is it? It's a Delver. That's sad. We can bolt them down to 1. We can bolt them down to 1. Hopefully they play a fetch and crack it. Griff Spoon, yep. We're going to -2. Alright, well, what are you going to do? Bogles was too fast. 3 paths. They had 3 paths. I guess it makes sense that they sideboard into paths. To be fair, if they didn't have the paths, they'd probably have a bunch of enchantments. So it's not like them not having path would have been that good for us. Maybe Spell Snare should just come out of the deck. I'm not sure. Don't know all that much about playing against Bogles. Hopefully you all enjoyed that video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.